Live from Sin City, Las Vegas. This is your motivational, sensational, inspirational, educational, aspirational, international, keenly awaited, daily created, highly anticipated edition of the afternoon swing trading floor with your humble host, Jeremy Alexander Newsome, with another daily dose of mentally delicious brain food, reminding each of you to love life, and trade it. What's going on, folks? Hope you're doing stupendous. Michael says, hello, trading friends. Ron says, good afternoon, team. Tara says, hi. Bill, what is up? Hope you are doing great. Shawnee says, hi, everybody. What's up, Shawnee Stevens? Justin says, hey, everyone. Pam says, hey, everyone. Everyone's piling in to everyone's favorite day of the week, Tech Giant Tuesday, with the afternoon room and your humble host, me. So hope everyone's having a good little session. I did mention a really fast little shout out on Slack just a moment ago. Being very serious about what I say it. I just posted this thing. I just got done with the coaching session with one of our traders who also happens to be a New York Times bestseller and happiness relationship coach. So if you do have anyone in your life that you want to have a little bit of a better relationship with, just reach out to your boy Neil and just schedule a 30-minute session. It's worth it. Smiling over here. Chief says love is in the air. It is. Love is in the air. All righty. So the SPY finally got a retest. That's nice. Nice little retest. It did slowly take a little bit of a dip today. And just, you know, it really wasn't as big of a drop as it looks like on the 5-minute chart. But again, we all know that it needs to pull back. And I don't know exactly how high it's going to go. But as of yesterday, as I mentioned, peeling off a lot of my cash position, or sorry, a lot of my positions going into cash. So when I say I'm 75% in cash, that is a true statement. However, I still have about 25% of my cash positions with some limit orders ready to buy as of today. And I'll go through what I'm looking at buying and why. But most specifically, you know, if the broader market pulls back down into here and kind of bounces off of that price, that would also be a nice little limit buy type of area. And that would be quite exciting, I think, if the markets can get that. So some version of that little retracement into this level, that will be a spot where it's worth finding some swing trades, buying some dips, putting your toes in the water and seeing what happens. And again, if we just get another bullish day tomorrow, we just trade up into here. I'll increase this target a little bit if we trade sideways for a week and then start popping. Because again, we had a very fast run up, but we still got a lot of October left. There's a lot of October left. So yeah, it's been really fun. Swing trades have worked out. Day trades have been blah, really, since August, at least for me. Most of August, most of September, and most of October, day trades have been kind of garbage. But swing trades carrying the portfolio, and that is okay. I'll make a little bit of a note about that somewhere on Slack at some point later in the next few days or weeks. But there's always times you have to make those tweaks and adjustments. Here's the Qs. And the Qs obviously just running. Huge volume, small little retest today. No reason why we can't go higher. No reason why this dip doesn't get bought up. And again, I know that sounds kind of obvious, but type in a 4 if you realize that you could just buy shares of the Qs and that could be your entire trading strategy. Right? You guys realize that, right? Like it doesn't have to be more than that. Like it's the tech ETF. So if you're like, I don't know what to swing trade. You can just play the Qs. You know, you can play the Qs with options. You can sell puts. You can buy shares and do covered calls, all kinds of things. Steven says, do you think the recent gap fills and then we take off? Yes. And I would say this, Steven, if we do not fill, the takeoff will be even stronger because it did occur on a weekly chart. So yeah, if we do not fill, honestly, by the end of the week, and we have some strong momentum and some bullishness, then yeah, it's going to be strong, my man. Strong. We're going to get some pushes higher. Here's the IWM, gap down, retested a little bit today. and IWM for the most part hanging out. And then the Dow Jones ETF still looks pretty strong. So Dow ETF again looks pretty much like the rest of the market. Everything is similarly shaped presently. So that's just the broader market. Questions, concerns, thoughts, or oppositional viewpoints, my dear friends. Other than that, we will, if you guys do have any, and again, when I do mention, if you guys have any questions, even if it's not like you're just a slower typer, you know, and you need to type something out and it doesn't stand for another 20 minutes, that's fine. You can interrupt me at any point, my friends. I'm no more special than you. So if we're just going through some analysis and you need to throw a question in, just throw it in there. Let's see what happens, you know? All right, let's dive in. First on the list is IQ. I don't have any position on IQ. This is the weekly chart, and we can see that there is a very good support down here at about $15 and some change. Nice little lower trends and averages doing its thing, trading sideways, hanging out. Monthly chart, trading sideways, hanging out. Daily chart, trading sideways and hanging out. IQ, pretty boring right now. Best place to buy this one, in my opinion, would be 20. Chief says, I thought you did have a position on IQ. Not anymore. Not anymore, man. Oh, I get it. Chief says you have a high IQ. Ah, go, man. By the way, tell Sue I said, hey, I tried texting her and I thought I had my, I thought I had her phone number. If she can text me, I'm sure I have her phone number somewhere. I don't know why I couldn't find it. Anyway, just give her a hug for me, Chief. All right. So anyway, IQ doing its thing. Coiling though, it is coiling. Don't forget it can break out higher. It just doesn't have to happen immediately. Next on the list is SCPL, SciPlay Corporation. Monthly chart looks good. Weekly chart looks good. Daily chart looks pretty okay. So this one, I don't have any position on either. It pulled right back into the 100 simple on a daily chart. So if you were looking at buying it, that's where. Last time I looked at it was this day and then this day and was just saying, hey, buy the dip off the 100, AKA buy off the blue line. What do you think about that strategy? Good old buy off the blue line. You know, the one I teach to the kids every March for Kids Month. Look at that. Buy off the blue line. Matt says, I love that strategy. Boom, boom, boom. Now, again, it doesn't have to be on every stock. Keep that in mind. It can obviously work, but it doesn't have to work on every stock. When I teach kids the strategy, it's usually the 100 simple or the 100 on the weekly. And it's find stocks that you like, find companies that you understand how they make money, find companies that you use, and then buy them. You know? Jay says, when is the next kid event? It's a good question, man. I mean, I don't have a specific date for reteaching those classes live. If you have a bunch of children that you want me to teach it for, let me know. I did get hired by a really good friend of mine and a trader in Hong Kong. Him and his friends have some kids and they have a little bit of a unique time frame. So 6 a.m. my time is 7 p.m. over there. And he hired me for some sessions to teach his kids and his friends' kids and his friends' friends' kids. So I'll be doing that in a week and a half. But yeah, man. So I don't have any specific plans, but you let me know. I can always figure something out. Yeah, broski. So anyway, that's SciPlay. Buy low, sell high. That was the pullback. AMWL, no position in this one. American Well Corporation. But I was thinking of taking a position as a swing trade. And this would be just one of those buy the pullback opportunities. What I'm intrigued about when I look at this chart is it actually going to pull back that far or not? And that I don't know. And I also don't think so. This is actually a wicked pair candle pattern. I do like wicked pair candles. Two small white candles back to back. First candle and second candle are about the same size. And the second candle gaps down, has a very similar open and a very similar close. Let me come back to this one tomorrow. I like this. I don't know what it does. American Well. So this will just be like a internet technology company. Okay, so not someone that I know of a lot about, but AMWL. I'm thinking that we can come back and just watch it, see if it does a swing trade or some type of very fast trade. Oh yeah, this is a TeleDoc competitor. Gotcha. TDOC competitor. Well, it's definitely cheaper than TeleDoc as far as the stock is concerned. Speaking of TeleDoc, that's the next one I'm going to be playing with some size. I'll look at that later today. But TeleDoc on the list. AMWL, I'll put on the list for tomorrow and Thursday. And I'm interested to see what happens on those. And here's a random statement. I don't know if it matters who gets elected, but I think if Trump gets reelected, he's going to give some love to the telehealth community, because he mentioned that a lot in one of his conferences, like, I don't know, one of his random statements that he made like 5-6 months ago was really, really bullish on telemedicine. That's really all I know about the Trump campaign and him maybe or maybe not liking it. Seems like he would like it. I'm not sure. Anyway, American Well, I like the trend. I like the direction. Industry seems cool. So we'll see what happens. Brett, I can put that on the list for tomorrow. Yep, absolutely. Easy day. OTRK. Got it. Craig says, I've been doing a lot of telemed and I love the industry. I do too. Yeah, I do also. Here is GDRX, Good Riddance Holdings. And if you're looking at playing GDRX, this is just kind of how I'm thinking through it. I don't have any position in this one. You know, you could have made a quick swing trade right there just based on candles, but that's all I see right now on GDRX. Just buy as low as you can off of this pre-support, stop loss down here, target up there. So that's all I got on GDRX. Next on the list is ATEC, AlphaTech. I think AlphaTech is a COVID play, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Oh, down, gapping down pre-market though. How much size? A lot of volume. Okay. So I won't be day trading tomorrow. Tomorrow is Willpower Wednesday for me, so I won't be taking any day trades. And I won't be taking any swing trades either. Whatever I'm in for tomorrow, and I'll just have to start planning some stuff. AlphaTech. So this could be a fun one to watch tomorrow. I like the gap down. It would probably be a buying event after some selling comes in. Okay, that gap looks kind of cool. Let me put that on the list for Thursday, and we'll come back to that. I dig it. Randomly gapping down. Robin says, does that mean you can't close out things you're already in? No, I can close out stuff whenever. I just can't get into anything. Like I can't take a new day trade tomorrow, or I can't get into a new swing trade in the market hours. I have to already have it open. So if I'm already in it, then cool. But you know, I got plenty of orders set up. Good question. All right, so the bit and the coin, the coinage of bit, the internet money. Does that look bearish to anyone else? Still, I don't look how buy off the blue line. That's been working well on Bitcoin. Edward says, what's a bear? What is bear? What is bear? Is bear live? So anyway, Bitcoin still looks good. I really, really do like the close. I mean, I love the close of yesterday's candle above the high of this candle, 11.47 and 11.5. I mean, it's pretty good. So this is just the retest of that high. I'm fully, perfectly fine, capable, and happy for the Bitcoin retracing or pulling back anywhere into here. Anywhere to here is still a buying event. I've still been accumulating Bitcoin. I like the overall trend. The monthly chart, it doesn't look bearish, especially if you turn the logarithm chart on. Look at this logarithm chart. I mean, again, this is really kind of best case scenario. Look at the bear volume. We closed above, we retested it, we broke higher, we retested that. It still looks strong. Mike says, I'm a perma bull. Nice. How many Bitcoins you got, Mike M? Edward says, you're back in. Yep, I'm back in. Mike says 0. If you're a perma bull, man, start accumulating some. Because remember, you can just put it on repeat. You can take some of your savings money and just put it into here rather than just put into a checking account or a savings account, whatever a savings account is. What is a savings account anyway? So anyway, that's my thoughts. I like the overall trend. Mike says, I need to do that. I promise if you do that, you will text me at some point like, hey, dude, thanks. I go, you're welcome, man. Easy day. Next on the list, automatic data processing, ADP. So ADP eventually will go higher. Really glorious trap down here. Very, very pretty trap. So I'm going to take 4 minutes and I will make a video on this soon, right around the time I make the moon phase video, but explaining pockets of liquidity. So one of the things that you can definitely do, especially for your long-term trades, is when you're looking at a chart like this and you're trying to determine where to buy, longer term buying, aka swing trading / investing, should be really, really simple. Find good spots to buy it and just set up limits there and then buy it there. That should be it. That should be all you have to do. And what is a stop loss order if you're in a long position? So a stop loss order is a market sell. Am I right? That's what it is. It's a market sell order. And when you have a market sell order and the broker has a lot of positions that they want to fulfill, how do they do it? Well, if the market broker can see that you have a lot of sellers and the market maker has a giant buy order that they need to fill, well, wouldn't it make sense for the markets to drive the price down into the selling event through which they could be a buyer at? Right? Doesn't that make sense? So it's like, if you can see on the chart where a bunch of people have their stop, then buy there. You be the buyer that the same market maker wants to be, because those are pockets of liquidity. Those are the areas where you're going to have tons of sell orders, market sell orders. And if you have a lot of market sell orders there, the market's going to want to fulfill some buy orders that it has outstanding. And the only way to have a lot of buy orders is to fulfill the sell orders on the flip side. So, bloop, that's it. So that would be ADP. Like if I was a long-term investor, which I'm not of ADP, I would have gotten filled right there and I'd be selling up here. You know, buy at 129, sell at 149. It's $20 a share every day of the week. Jacob says, is that in the same line of a stock that's channeling? Yep, channeling or just trending higher. Either one works. So ADP, you know, I mean, a great example would be just right in here, 140. I mean, we can look at this chart and just see that tons of people have a stop right there. So if this were to trade into here, bloop, so JS says, where do you put your stop when others have their stop there? Well, the thing is, again, if you're doing it as an investment, you're probably going to have a protective put trigger. You are also most likely going to have an area where there's still stops that can go lower and the stock can still go lower, right? Normally you just put it at another pivot point. So down here, down here, down here, it just really depends on where you want to get out. If it's an investment, you need to have a longer term horizon, longer term time frame, more patience. It's got to wait. Jacob says, for a longer term hold with a stock that is channeling, do you buy low, sell high? That is correct. JS says, or you can pyramid in. That is absolutely right. Yep. So if you know where a bunch of stop orders are, your pyramid can look something like this. where this could be the top and the second portion, and you get the third and fourth, and the third and fourth just never fill. It's like, hey, well, good try. I did my best, but I didn't get all four. And that's really what happened during my most recent pullback in the markets. I didn't get most of my pyramids. That's why I'm mostly in cash right now. I definitely got some, but I didn't get all of it. So anyway, yeah, ADP, buy it at 140. Netflix was the most obvious one in the world recently. Now, I did not do this trade, mostly because I can't be in everything, but type in a 9 if you can see a very, very clear pocket of liquidity right now on Netflix. Just again, just a few days ago. This is literally days ago. So we can clearly see that tons and tons of people have their stops right there, right? Everyone, their mom has a stop right there. So I was like, okay, well, what if it doesn't get down there? Fine, no big deal. You don't get in, but what if you wanted some Netflix? What if you wanted 1 share, 2 shares, 5 shares, long-term call option, right? T, you know how Netflix works. You use Netflix. You like Netflix product. So what if you put a limit buy right here at 466, and that's the trade that you take? In fact, give me a second. I'll see if I can find, again, did not do this trade. I will always be honest with you guys, let you know what I'm trading, what I'm not trading, what I'm in, what I'm not in. I'll always let you know. Yeah, just give me a quick second. Let's see if I can find that trade from about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I think. Tracking it down, tracking it down, tracking it down. A few more seconds, few more seconds. It's on one of my Facebook groups. There it is. Boom. All right. So this was Trevor. And I don't know if Trevor, I don't think Trevor is an RLT officially, but it's all good either way. So this was his analysis on Netflix. And I have worked with Trevor before. I just can't remember if he's a part of real life trading right now or not. I know he does a lot of, like, his work schedule's weird. Anyway, long story short, type in a 1 if you can see pretty much the analysis that I just described, right? Entry here. So he has a stop loss, still has a stop loss in place. You can still have stop losses in place, right? You could also have an alert if you want to maybe buy some more there. Again, pyramid in. But if it's a longer term trade, generally on a longer term position, I just kind of get in, hold it for a while, a week or 2 or 3 weeks go by, then I kind of reevaluate what I want to do with it. But if you're going to invest in it, or you're doing it with very small size, who cares? Jay says, how long do good to orders last again? Usually like 7 months. They're in there for a while. Yeah, they're in there for a bit. So anyway, that was his analysis. And, you know, my reply on it was, hey man, looks great. And boom, there is the order filling right there. Check it out. That's how lower shadows get created, by the way, my friends. Lower shadows, that's why hammers are so strong. Those lower shadows are perfect traps, those pockets of liquidity throwing down there where all those sellers are. The buyers get filled, the sellers get filled, everyone's happy because the market doesn't know if it's a sell order, right? A market sell order could be a short, right? A market doesn't know that it's your stop loss. They just see it as a stop order. So it could be a sell to short. It could be a sell to get out of a long. They don't know. But if you have a lot of people that need to buy it there. Matt says longer term, you hold through earnings. Absolutely. You have to. Otherwise, it can't be a long-term trade. Good question. T says, I see it now. Beautiful. And there's Netflix. Look at that. What an easy trade that would have been. Now, again, I'm not in Netflix. I can't be in everything. Not a big deal. I don't stress about it. But type in a 7. That just seems so obvious. Plus, it's Netflix. Everyone here knows how Netflix makes money. You know, what if you bought 5 shares there? 5 shares of Netflix could have changed your life. You know, that's $100 of a move. 5 times 100, $500. Doing literally 7 seconds of actual work, making $500. So anyway, Netflix is coming up on earnings. I don't imagine Netflix is going to have bad earnings. So one of two things happening. My new pocket of liquidity for Netflix is obviously right in this general zone. So if something crazy happens, we get a big gap down on earnings, we trap people, we run down. I'm a buyer, net buyer, long, hard, and strong around 420-ish. Otherwise, it seems the most reasonable that we're going to gap up on earnings, fade back down, and then go higher. Either way, Netflix goes higher. I've been saying that for a long time. Long time. Pretty much as long as I've known stocks. NEO. So NIO, a lot of people are in this one, and if you're in it, stay in it. This is one of my favorite things about trading. I love when a stock does absolutely nothing. A lot of people, it freaks them out. And obviously it's going to come with experience, but if I'm in a stock, I love it when it doesn't do anything because that means I'm not losing. It means pressure is building. If a stock is just sitting there coiling, doing absolutely jack squat for like 3 weeks, I smile because then that just says, wow, I mean, this breakout could be so much stronger. The longer something trades sideways, the bigger the move is going to be out of it. And if it breaks down, oh, well, so be it. No big deal. But what if it breaks higher? It's like, that would be such a fun trade. Brett says the TTM squeeze. Yep, TTM squeeze is definitely a really fun strategy. So as this one trades sideways, the pressure is building, consolidation is happening, direction looks nice, looks good. And type in a 9 if you can see the pocket of liquidity on this one. Doesn't take a genius or a market maker to see where all the stops are at on this one. Right here. Right? So if it pops down to there, easy buy. Easy. And if you said this level here, you're also not incorrect. You're not incorrect. It's just not as strong because right now, I mean, millions of people got their stops right here. Now, what if it doesn't go down there? That's okay. Captain Jack Sparrow says, is NEO a good candidate for a calendar bull spread? What type of spread? Bull call or bull put? Bull, yes. The answer is yes. Bull, it just depends on, I guess, really what. With this kind of volatility, I wouldn't do a bull put spread because you're not going to get a lot of premium. So you need a big giant bear candle that's like, ah, and then you get into a bull put spread. This is the perfect time to buy into a debit spread. Absolutely. Yep, this is a great, because it's just trading sideways. Sell weekly puts, buy monthly puts. That would be a diagonal bear put spread, and I wouldn't do that one. No. Wouldn't do that one. Because again, you want some more volatility to come in. Something like an event like this on the 4th of September or 23rd or 24th of September would have been the good time to get into a volatility play. Right now, NEO would be a not volatility play. Just stay the course on this one. Baxter. No, this is Booz Allen. Everyone's second favorite stock. Becton Dickinson and Booz Allen. They hang out all the time. Best friends. So weekly chart. Yeah, just Rampage Jackson. Look at this thing. I mean, Booz Allen. How can you ever be bullish or bearish on Booz? You can't. It makes no sense. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, Newsom, this has nothing to do with that. I know, but it makes it easier to think that that's the way they do. And then therefore, there you go. So anyway, buy off the blue line. It's at the blue line. That's pretty much the thought on Booz Allen Hamilton. It's there. It's a blue chip stock. If you want to wait for a bounce off of that, you can. And again, if you're snapping into a pyramid, this would probably be the first or the second one. 200 simple is a really good spot to buy some longer term as well. And that's pretty much it on Booz Allen Hamilton. Be long. Speaking of long, Square. So Square, my boy Ron, are you still in that covered call, Ron, or do you roll it? Also, Craig, did you sell your 200 November? Good job, by the way, Craig, for selling some calls. So Craig had some call options that he was in and made some good returns on those call options. And Craig is also in a 200 November. Scott has a 190 for this Friday. Wow, look at you, team. Craig L, November. Guess who has no position of Square still? Gosh, I do have PayPal though. I'm making it back on PayPal. Don't you worry. Scott has 190. Scott M this Friday. 190. Now, by the way, team, just as a reminder, if we're talking about, again, you're referring to pockets of liquidity, since we're discussing it, this is a really, really great example of when, you know, something like this kind of shapes up and happens. And again, I did not do this trade. I tried. I had my order apparently 7 cents too high, too low. But when you see this type of trend, so some of you are asking like, Newsom, how do you get into a stock that's just going up and never pulls back? So look at this trend, right? Obviously just unstoppable, just moon Lambo. This is the day we go to cash, September 2nd, Newsom Geddon. All right, the 2nd of September, we're in cash. So then I go, all right, what do we do now? Well, we can see this ridiculously strong trend, right? It's just running. And I know it seems obvious now, but look at the volumes, big volume spikes, giant volume spikes. And where those volume spikes come in, I'm looking at the candles, I'm looking at the price. And this line is the line that I had drawn. And I said, that's where I'm going to buy Square. Ready for this one? It's going to sound really dumb, really dumb. Old resistance becomes what? Old resistance becomes new support, back to class 1 of new beginner's class. And then if I turn on the moving averages, where's the 50 EMA? Pretty much right at that simple support line. Now, had I hit the 50 EMA in the last 4 or 5 months? No. So we hadn't hit the 50. I had a support line, old resistance, new support. Where did my entry go? On Square. Top of my pyramid, 133.36. That was it. Why 130? Why could it have been 133.35? What do you guys think? Sure, could have been 133.37, right? The pennies don't matter. The pennies are irrelevant. I'm never going to get anything to the exact penny or to the exact low. I'm just trying to buy at prices that make sense to me. So on Square, yeah, sell at 170.61 and buy at 133.36. Makes sense. So this candle comes in and then that candle comes in. Low of the candle, 134. JS says, do you use moving averages for those pullbacks? Of course, all the time. That's why they're constantly on all my charts for you guys. So I did not get filled on Square, but what you're able to see is these candles. JS says simple or EMA. So I have a lot of videos that cover that in the intermediate classes, John. I don't know if you got a chance to go through those or not. Bottom line, that's like me asking you, do you like Coke or Pepsi? It doesn't matter, homie. They all work. So use whatever ones you want, both SMAs and EMAs. It'll bounce off of them sometimes it won't. They are there to solely give you an idea of what something is doing. That's the only usage they have. It's like it's really like a ruler or a leveler if you're hanging a painting as a moving average. Like you can get pretty, like you can put up a painting and it doesn't have to be exact. You know, now for some of you out there, you guys are gonna be like, no, but a ruler and a leveler will just help you straighten it out more. Me, I'll just put it on the wall. Never hire me to hang a painting in your house. You are hiring the wrong person. Do not reach out to me for that. Okay, at all. So anyway, that's what they do. They just kind of like, they give you the ruler. They kind of give you an idea of where some things are at. So I missed Square, but what I was able to recognize, and a few traders did play this very, very well. is notice the low of this candle and the low of this candle, right? The low of this candle is 135.03. What's the low of the candle that just came in? 134. So what happened by $1? Pocket liquidity. That's the trap. That's everyone getting stopped out. Stops are getting hit, and you causing that nice little bounce, and then poof, there she goes. And once that candle came in, that's why I said, guys, this is probably the bounce on Square. If we take out the high of this candle, it's on. Look at that inside candle. Can you guys feel the pressure building on this? Look at this inside candle. It's a hammer inside the upper shadow of an inverted hammer bouncing off the 50. What more do you want? I'm in here. Like, you should be in here, Newsom. That's what I'm telling myself right now. Like, this is, you should be in right here. Bam. Buy something. Nope. Never to be seen again. Never to be seen or heard from ever again. Oh, man. What a dummy. I mean, I just thought the market, silly me for thinking that we would do something like this and then going higher. How dumb. Robin says, do we blame Edward for missing that? Yep, I do every day. That's right. So anyway, that's kind of like the analysis on Square. It was like at that moment, you don't have to know what it was going to do, because that's what stresses most traders out. Most traders like, oh, I need to know what's going to happen. You'll never know. You'll never know. You'll never know. So you just have to kind of play something. So anyway, that's Square. Plug it in, plug it in. So PLUG, plug. I don't have any position on right now. My sister does, but this stock is moving. And my expectation is for this to maybe pull back to the 200 simple moving average on a monthly chart. 200 simple on a monthly. If you're playing it, that's where you can buy more or buy some or sell some puts after a nice little down day. Today is a little bit of a cute day, for sure. Again, if you're like, where's the pocket of liquidity on this one? That was that day. That day. Now it'll just be old resistance, new support. There it is. There's your old resistance, and your new support will be right there. What if it never gets down to there? Buy something else. It's real easy. That's like going to a store and looking at a Snickers bar, and there's only 2 Snicker bars, and the dude in front of you buys both of them. So you either buy another candy bar or go to another convenience store, because there's millions of Snickers around. It's the same thing. You got to remind yourself of that over and over and over and over and over and over. Or you kick the dude in the face and steal his Snickers. One of the two. But in the stock market, you can't really do that. You probably shouldn't do that. So anyway, that's pretty much plug. You know, for example, if I was buying some at 1572, what do you guys think? Personally, and again, I'm not going to do this trade, but if I was going to, which I won't, would I buy a lot or a little at 1572? Would that be like the Jeremy's piling in, I'm buying 1,000 shares, or would I buy like 150 shares and then just kind of like start tiptoeing in? Yeah, that'd be the start of it. That'd be the tiny spot. That'd be the itty bitty price. Definitely wouldn't buy a lot there. Alan says, every time I'm up for my trade limits, I keep seeing more companies that I could have been in one, but I got to follow my plan. Yep, that's all we can do in trading. That is it. That is it. All right, so let's plug. Here's run. Are you in? Sun run. Speaking of running, I mean, this thing, boy, oh boy. Wow. By the way, if this doesn't remind you of like Net or Fastly to anyone else, maybe it's just me. So are you in? Good breakout, nice gap on a Monday with really good volume, and just kind of continued. Brett says if a stock is holding the 100 and 200, is that basically an automatic buy? No, depending on what the stock is, what the company is, how long it's been around, all those things. It's like Spotify. I'm sure Spotify's on this list. Now, if Sunrun came back down to this 100, I'd be watching it to buy. Absolutely. Here's your hammer. I mean, look at this perfect thing. Again, did not trade it. That was September 4th. That was the perfect hammer. I mean, you would have had to get in here. 52 stop loss there. Unless, of course, you bought on the pullback of the hammer, old resistance based on this candle here. Old resistance, new support. You just bought the dip and the dip worked because the trend is extremely bullish. My friends, the easiest thing I can possibly tell you in all of your trading career, find stocks that are doing this. Look at the volume. Look at the trends. Look at the breakout on multiple different time frames, daily, weekly, monthly, all that. Do 40 minutes of research. Find out what the company is and determine if you want to do it as a swing trade or just a investment or a very, very fast in and out. Because you can look at this even when you're back trading it and you go, yep, I want to buy right there with the stop. I mean, below the 50. Like, you have no idea if that's going to work. No clue. What if it does hit that? What if it doesn't hit that? Like, you don't know. And that would have filled. So at some point, it's all about the trend in the company and what it's doing for the world. Once you can nail those things down, you got it. So long story short, are you in? I want to pull back farther and at least get to the 50, preferably even back to that 100. And then I'm intrigued. All right, so that's RUN. Next on the list, get wrecked. So Rocket Company, it's not working. It's trying to. It's a Morningstar reversal, and this is a perfect example of getting filled on a trade and having no idea if it's going to work or not. Every one of you should be in this trade. I mean, unless you've been around RLT forever and you got your own like system down, but every one of you should be in this trade. If you're a newer trader and you're like, I wish I knew how to get into trades, this was a perfect one. Double bottom, volume, wicked pair of candles, close both the moving averages, higher lows, newer IPO, nothing in the way, no moving averages, nothing to fight it. And so now it's like, oh, let's see. Let's see. So here's what I'm going to say to myself. If RKT closes above this Morningstar reversal in the next 5 trading days, I'll stay in. If not, I'll move stop or look to exit for a small win. That kind of makes sense? Now, is all of that arbitrary? Am I just picking all that information out of thin air and then just creating a plan out of it? Yeah. Yep. All of that is just purely saying, hey, this is what I'm going to do based on this. Edward says, does Mr. Squiggles have a prediction? He does, but you don't want to see it. So I'm going to move on. All right. Next on the list is SUMO, Sumo Logic. And some traders are looking at playing this one. I don't have any positions in Sumo. It looks like it's going lower. I mean, it's only been around for a week. Giant volume, huge bull candle, close below the candle, lower lows, retest, lower lows, breaking down, bear candle. So obviously, if you're using the same analysis that we talked about, could you buy right down here and maybe it bounces? Absolutely. And that's where you go, do you know anything about the company? Have you done any research on it? I can answer no to both of those. Is it just a random swing trade? Could I get into this? Limit buy, stop loss there? Absolutely. I could easily do that. I've done that millions of times. Am I going to? Nah. Why? Because all the bull volume so far just keeps immediately getting trapped the very next day or 2 days later. So I think it could go a little bit lower and then bounce and something like this. I just want this one to establish itself. It doesn't look strong from the get-go, and I don't really know what it does. Chief says Sumo is getting ready for the takedown. Exactly. Exactly. So anyway, that's pretty much it. I can wait on that one, let that one do its thing. Farfetch Limited, FTCH. So there are some people in Farfetch, and this one does look good. I don't have any position in this one. I'm waiting this one out. If I were setting up a trade, there's all kinds of ways to buy this one lower. No idea what it's going to do. No clue. If I had to guess, oh, it's up post-market. That's helpful to know. That could be a good gap tomorrow. Oh, no volume. No volume. Okay. Yep, then in that case, I would just wait and set up a limit buy as low as you can and see if one of those things happen. That's all I got on Farfetch. I would just kind of keep waiting on that and just let Becton Dickinson come in and see if he can throw in some limit buys and buy that thing. All right. Tesla. Do I have a position in Tesla? What do you guys think? You guys all know I have a position in Tesla. So Tesla, if you're looking for a company to just be in as a swing trade with some shares, this could be one. Still waiting for this thing. Got shares, have call options. I may or may not have taken a little bit of a day trade on this one and one very small. And by may or may not, I did. It was later in the day, much later in the day. I don't share all my trades with all of you guys all the time, but this is the one I played because I was like, you know, I was bored. If I'm being real, I was totally bored. This was a terrible trade, but anyway, where was it? All right, right here. So I saw that the market looked kind of weak at the point in time. Edward says, did you take Apple during the event? Yeah, I'll talk about that in just a second. Definitely shorted it all the time. So Tesla, really interesting candles here. Good bear candle there, nice close there. And all I did was a limit buy here, stop loss there, target up there. Risk reward was out horrible. It was like a 1-to-1, it was like the worst risk reward in the world. But later in the day, bloop, filled and held through all of that. And there you go. And that was it. So lame sauce. Captain Jack Sparrow said I rode Tesla yesterday, 440 to 449. 440, oh, right there. Nice little double bottom to 449, right to the high of yesterday. Nice. Good trade. Very good trade. And then it pulled back down almost to 440 again. 440.67. Brute. That's mean. But yeah, the big question, of course, is when will and if and at some point will Tesla break out of this 450 region? Now, I didn't personally sell any covered calls today. Just my opinion, it could obviously continue higher, but I don't sell covered calls when I'm bored and the stock is not doing anything. I sell covered calls when the stock is extremely volatile and I can get a lot of premium. So I'm waiting on Tesla to see if it can break out. If Tesla at some point can close above 460 between now and earnings, I have no idea what it's going to do. And I'll come up with a good earnings plan next week. I will be holding my options over earnings. And my assumption is likely going to be sell some call options up here and do like a dynamic collar where I buy some puts, but not against my whole position. Thomas says, how bullish would you be if it gapped up above the highs? 450. Ooh, if it opened at 450 tomorrow, 7 out of 10. It would definitely retest, and then 10 out of 10 would trade again. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen though. But yeah, let Tesla just hang out, trade sideways for a while. I like the weekly chart. I really like the trend. I like the fact that it's gapping. So So here's hoping. Be in Tesla long. I'm in Tesla long. Apple had the event today. And the weirdest thing happened on Apple today. I've never seen this before. Yeah, if you guys want to take some quick notes, get your pen out. I mean, never in my life. The weirdest thing happened today. You guys taking notes? So Apple had a retest gap. And then on the day of event, it sold off and retested the retest gap. Never before. Once in a lifetime. I hope you all had fun. Sell the news on Apple? Unbelievable. Jacob says, did you publish this finding? Yes, I reached out to Booz Allen Law Firm, and me and Becton Dickinson are going to publish this. Get our findings out there. Oh man. Yeah. I mean, it was just the most obvious, it's the most obvious sell of all time. So I won't walk you through all the boring details, but started a starter position short here, 100 shares, and then did limit sells with some lot sizes as we went higher, sold it, sold it, sold it, sold it, sold it, covered. That was it. That's all you had. That was the day trade. I mean, you know, Apple all the time. All the time. So other than that, a lot of people are in collars. They sold calls, they bought puts, and great. I also did sell, so I can get rid of this. Now, I hope everyone's okay on the math on this. Really quick, get out your abacus and calculate these two numbers really fast. If you want to throw those numbers together. So I sold 10 100 November put sales. Why would I sell 10? Any guess? Because I wanted to own 1,000 shares anyway. That is exactly correct. 6 plus 4. Edward did the math correct. Good job, Ed. Proud of you. Quick math. So that's really it. And if I get put shares, great. If I don't get put shares, I won't. That's all I got on Apple. I mean, that is simply it. 1,000 shares is $100,000. That is correct. That is absolutely right. Am I willing? Is that an investment or is that a swing trade? What do you guys think? And the answer is it could be either. It could be a swing trade. You know, if Apple does, which I don't think it does, but if Apple does one of these guys and one of those guys, I want to sell it and win, I can. Can I hold this as an investment, $100,000, and just leave it alone for a year and a half? Sure. That's Apple. It should be real easy to trade Apple. Buy it at a low price and then sell it at a higher price. Datadog, I'm not in this one because it did not pull back to my old resistance, new support. So Marta, are you still in Datadog? I know this was a big fan of yours on your trade. This one has a great trend. Good volume, good breakout, good candles. So nice. Trying to find a dip to buy on Datadog, and so far I haven't gotten it yet. So I will keep waiting, and I will keep waiting, and I will keep waiting. I'm just gonna wait for a nice little dip, and I'm gonna snag it. Buy the salsa. Ron says I'm in it, Jer. Nice, Ronnie McRontown. Good job, brotherino. I am not in Datadog, but go make money, man. Stone Cold Steve Austin, we do have a official swing trade on this one. Simply trying to buy the old resistance as new support. That is it. I've been talking all about it, and there is an exact setup of which all we're doing is trying to buy old resistance with the new support with the stop lower, and then hopefully it bounces. So STNE, we're still in setup and ready to go. DraftKings, I got a put sale on DraftKings, only one contract at $45 for November 6th. I did not day trade this one today, although I should have. Yep. Jacob says, thinking this pulls back more. I don't know, man. It could. I want it to. So everyone has sell orders right there. That's where I would like it to pull back to. It might not. There are some people that have leaps. There are some people that have shares. I'm fine with leaps or shares on this pullback of DraftKings. The trend is bullish, and I think most people here know how DraftKings makes money. I think it can easily go higher. I really do. I don't know why DraftKings couldn't go higher. They make really good money, good recurring revenue. I'm excited to see their next earnings. Robert Falco did a great earnings review on DraftKings earlier, and all I can say is if you are buying leaps or long-term contracts or something like this, then just don't be in too heavy right now, and just kind of let it just chill out, and then you can always add to your position. Steven says a ton of sports to play now too. Yep. Brandon says they're spending 300 million on advertising and 3D and 30 million in revenue. Sounds like a new startup. Yep, they're spending a lot. I mean, they just had a IPO-ish, so they that's how you raise capital. CHWY, I am soiling this stock right now. Oh my goodness. So I am in CHWY. I do have a position on CHWY, 800 shares, and got in after this ginormous volume came in. Allison says, I sold yesterday. Hey, good trade, good win. My target on CHWY is 69. Chris says I sold today. Nicely done, Chris. Jay says I sold today as well. Nicely done, team. My target is 69. I don't know if it's going to hit there or not, but earnings were already over. We're taking out all of this volume. Well, today we closed above this hammer. I mean, my opinion is if it doesn't hit this target, it can just pull back and do one of these things, keep going. Steven says, I pulled my holding muscle and sold today as well. Hey, perfectly fine. All good. I still have my shares. I will sell at 69 if it hits to 69 though. And then I'll try to rebuy again. CHWY is going to go higher. And I do know how CHWY makes money. I do use them. I like them. Everyone who has a fur baby should be in CHWYs. This is what I've been talking about since IPO, ladies and gentlemen. So if you have a dog or cat, then play CHWY. Tyler says sell a covered call. Yeah, you definitely could sell a covered call on this one. I thought about it. I still might. I might, man. My plan is just to get out because I think it could pull back, but it doesn't have to. I don't know. If it hits 69, it'll be a good win, and I'm okay just lock it in and try to rebuy it on a pullback. But if you are in and want to sell a covered call, absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. All right, DocuSign. I'm gonna go a little long today, apparently. Oh, don't tell me. Tell me that's true. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I do have some positions in DOCU, ladies and gentlemen. All of you guys know it. I day traded it like absolute garbage yesterday, and I'm just still in my swing trade. Swing trade as in calls. I have long calls on DocuSign, and did we close above that? Oh, yes, we did. That is so good. Look at this. We just closed above this candle and this candle today. Next stop, we close above this little beast right here, and DocuSign is going to go back to 280. Moneytown amigos. So I am in DocuSign, I am in bullish, I am in calls, and target, I mean, 280, 290 would be very reasonable. I'll try to hold out as long as I can, but let's find out. It's a good trend, good chart, good company. I know exactly how they make money. I use them. I love them. Big fan. Also in Spotify. So I'm in on Spotify as well. I have a position on Spotify, shares, leaps, bull put spreads, and put sales. If it can be made money on Spotify bullish, I'm in it. And why? Do I know how Spotify works? Yes. Do I use Spotify? Yes. Do I like it? Yes. Do I have recurring revenue? Yes. Do a lot of people use Spotify? Yes. Do a lot of people like Spotify? Yes. Is it a good company? Yes. Is it an uptrend? Yes. Yes, 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 yes to everything. So buy the dip. Now, this is one, Brett, that I did get into blindly off the blue line. So I bought there. That candle came in, I added. This candle came in, I added, got scared, added. No, I'm saying adding, I'm not like buying 400,000 shares per ad. So I'm in 105 shares on spot, some leaps and some put sales and some put spreads. So target for me on spot, 292.68. If it gets back up there, I'll lock it in. We'll sell it. Intel. Edward says, why buy shares, not more leaps? I don't know, dude. I just like shares sometimes. Yeah. I don't want all my portfolio to be options, you know. I can hold shares a lot longer than I hold options. That is a fact. Intel. Going to fill the gap eventually. And next thing to plan on Intel doing is eventually pulling back to this old resistance, new support, 52. Buy a double bottom if it comes in. And if it doesn't come in, just expect this gap to continue filling because it will. So be long Intel. Over time, it'll work out. 3D printing. So Patrick Sullivan, a few other traders got out of 3D. And it is above it. Mr. Squiggles has 2 ideas of what 3D can do on this. And I do kind of like today's candle. Like the little doji. I like the lower shadows. You have 4 dojis back to back to back. The reason I'm not blown away on this one is I don't have an answer for that. I don't really have an answer. So that means that I got to start planning to get in on this thing. I mean, if you're looking at the volume and the candles and the gap and the moving averages, it looks like it has room to go. All right, so 3D, I'll come back to it tomorrow and we'll see if we can trade it. Tomorrow's Wednesday. And keep an eye on that one. Looks really good. Weibo, ticker symbol WB, still waiting for it to pull back to 37.67. Right now, I'll just move Mr. Squiggles over. Bloop. And let's see if it pulls back. 2, 3, 7, 6, 7 for WB. First Solar. All right, so First Solar did get a close today above the open of yesterday's bear candle. This is what I wanted to do, so I'm just going to move it over here and just kind of saying, hey, okay, this could happen. Earnings are around the corner, and here's my plan on First Solar. Okay, so this is a level of resistance where it could easily get to. So this is where I'm targeting First Solar to potentially at some point hit. And that is 100-ish. Now, I'm not saying this is absolutely the time where it's breaking out. This is just simply what I would like it to do. Earnings is around the corner. And so I'm starting a starter position on First Solar, which looks a lot like this. 100 January 2022 calls on First Solar. And if we rotate, retrace, and pull back, I will add to it. I'll wait until earnings to really start putting in more size. This is what I'm in presently. And if it retraces, calms down, pulls back some after earnings, I'll really see what it does and kind of play it accordingly. That's it. So I might do some shares, I might do some calls. I'm just going to see how it reacts as we pull into earnings. And that's my thoughts on First Solar. JMIA. Oh, boy. So this one still looks delish. So again, we talked about this just a few days ago. If you're playing out of the money call options on it, probably the best way to play JMIA is with calls. Trend looks good. Gap looks good. Volume looks good. Direction looks good. Candles look good. Volume looks really nice. If this thing opens above the high of yesterday, tomorrow morning, just continue to be bullish. And that's really it. So if you're in out of the money calls on JMIA, that's what we talked about 3 days ago. Probably the best way to play this one. And if you want to play as more of a directional swing trade, this setup that we talked about yesterday did not fill. And You can still set up a limit to see if it'll pull back maybe in a day or two, but keep an eye on this one again for day trades and aggressive trades in general. This one could just be nice. All right, VZUI. VZUI. 200 simple on a weekly chart. This is a choppy little monster. Let it close above here on a weekly, which means at the end, AKA Friday. Once it closes above there, buy the retest. If you're looking at playing VZUI, I don't have any position in this one, but if you are, yeah, try to buy a little bit of a pullback. A lot of good volume from this hammer. I do like that. But again, a lot of buying volume generally means that some selling is going to come in at some point. So have a limit buy, yeah, low 450s and let it close above there this week and then hope and pray for the best. That's my trading strategy sometimes. EXPI, I've already got fuel cell down. No, that was plugged. EXPI, what is this one doing? EXP World Holdings, just Moon Lambo. No idea what this thing is, but it's not stopping for nobody. Financial conglomerate, sure. Yeah, team, I have no idea. I'm not in this one at all. If you're in it, just stay in. John says, this is my real estate brokerage. Oh yeah, that's the real estate company. Shoot. Every time I pull that up, I forget about that. Because this is the one that DJ Klein is in heavy, monstrous. And they're doing a lot of really, really cool and nifty stuff with real estate too. Dang it. This was a layup that DJ gave me. I just missed it. Gosh. He told me about that back in this was last year. I got the tip on this back at 9. John says cloud-based and very good agent incentives. Yeah, they have a lot of really good perks. I agree. Man, I don't have any position in this one, man. If I had a license through this company, how would I not be in this one? You know? So John Thaxton, I'm sure you have some shares. Robin says you should show this one to GeForce. All right, will do. John says he does have shares. Great, so just stay in them, I guess. Lemonade. Oh, the miss of the year. Lemonade. So we set up a limit buy on October 6th and we missed it by a dime. And right now, Lemonade just keeps toying with my emotions. This is a pennant pattern, a perfect pennant pattern on Lemonade. Very nice IPO low consolidation and trap. Type in a 4 if you can see that pocket of liquidity. I mean, that's the easiest thing in the world. We tried to play that. We did our absolute best. I just canceled my order because of Trump getting COVID, which I still think is perfectly fine. Yeah, if Lemonade breaks out, I would just be long if you're looking at playing LMND. That's it. Sammy says, I got out at 68. Nice. Good job, Sammy. Well played. Well played. Net. Don't you hate it when you miss a really good trade by pennies? This thing is not going to stop. Dang it. Cloudflare. It's going to keep on churning and burning. Burnerino, McBurnertown. Yeah, I got to figure out how to get into this one. I mean, I'm going to have to wait for, I got to wait for a bear candle. I'll try to get in on the open today. Buy some kind of dip weakness with a debit spread. Brennan says, sold my leap call. Hey man, congrats. That's a beautiful win. Beautiful win. That's all I have on net for right now. I'm planning on it. I want to be in, but I'm not yet. Fuel cell. Yes. Fuel cell, that is going to be a setup. I just like this weekly chart for some reason. Something about this weekly chart speaks to me. So here we go. New official swing trade, and my sister is in. Okay, 10, today's the 13th, 2020. Feel out. 2, 7, 8, 2, 2, 8 shares. I think it's a great trade based on a gap and go, and it's open because it's not triggered yet. Yep. All right, next on the list is PayPal. I do have a position in PayPal, and I'm still in. 200, 280, January 2022 bull call spread looking delightful. Delicious. So, yeah, PayPal just thumbs up all around on this one. I guess I'm just going to keep holding. I mean, today, did it? Yes. Yeah. Today closed above both of those voluminous candles, which is one of my favorite words. Look at that. Look at that bare volume that just got taken out today. Guys, PayPal is going to keep on going. Every time I pull it up, this is on the chart. If you ever want to copy it. Edward says, if I wasn't in, would you get in at 196 if it pulls back? If it pulls back that far, sure. That's going to be a big if, man. With today's close, PayPal could be at 220 by earnings. I'm in it. Canadian Solar, CSIQ. Ooh, look at the Squigs doing his masterly. Just get out of here, Squigs. Get out of here. Check this out. So look at this volume. So again, if we're back trading it really fast, big volume. Is it in an uptrend at that point? Yes or no? Yeah, absolutely. So could you buy the dip here? The answer is yes, of course you could. I mean, if you watched my introduction to options class, you know that you could be buying options on that day as well. Or how do you feel? What do you think all those shorts are going to feel like if we go above that candle? They can't feel awesome, you know? So there's your inside candle that says, hey, you had a whole day, 24 hours to set me up. I hope you're ready. And then boom. If you're not in on that candle, you are terrified of both losing money and making money. If you were analyzing, if you never saw the trade, then obviously don't worry about it. But like if you've planned that and you're not in, you're scared of losing money and you're scared of making money. So you have to get through those fears. That's that psychology part that really comes into the trading aspect of this game. So CSIQ, strong. WPM, Wheaton Precious Metals. That is a nice double bottom. Whoo. 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 That's my owl impression. It's really spot on. I get owls to come for miles with that one. It's very similar to the silver trade. A lot of traders exit our silver weekly options trade last Friday. If you are still in it, you know, best of luck. They expire this week. So cross your fingers and hope silver goes higher. I love that close, love the candle, love the gap, love the double bottom. And that just looks brilliant on Wheaton Precious Metal. So if you're playing it, go for it. Jay says, I got in around 49. Nice. I hope she screams higher, my man. All right, TDOC. So everything about this candle is perfect. I am trying my hardest to get into call options all weekend long. I was analyzing this one and I sat down with one of the smartest mentors I know over the weekend, and it was a confidential meeting. Him and I spoke, talked about it, and I said, what's the absolute #1 stock that you need to focus on, that I need to focus on, that we need to focus on in the next year? TDOC was what I received. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on. And that was on Sunday. Saturday. So I spent all Sunday researching this one. Love the candle, love the volume, love the gap. I have share orders set up to buy a pullback. I have call options set up to buy a pullback. I'm not in any yet, and I really do not hope this runs without me. But if it does, I'll get into really small size. So running without me would look like a break above here. So if it takes that out, I'll just buy like 50 shares or something just to be in. All my calls are 250 LEAP 2022, and I just have limit buys set up. So my limit buys are all spread out in this little circle. Now, this will be an investment / swing trade that I'm okay to be in for many months and or a year or two. I'm not stressed out about it. If I do win big, great. But I want you all to make some money with me on TeleDoc. The person I receive the information from is never wrong long-term. Long-term. Sometimes the particular person has to wait on some trades for 5 or 8 months or so, but longer term hasn't been wrong badly. Has had some losers that we've had to cut, but long term, it's really good. Jason says, is the person squigs? Very close. Very, very close. So yeah, TeleDoc, I like it. I like the can. I like the volume. I love that charts. Put that on your list, ladies and gentlemen. YETI, YETI. So YETI, I'm doing it. And here's the thing. If I get stopped out on this trade, I'm just going to blame Robin. And then I'm done. That'll be it. That's all I have to do. If I do lose on this trade, though, in all seriousness, I will donate some YETI cups. If I win on this one, I'm gonna donate some YETI cups. I'm donating some YETI cups to someone out there in the world. I don't know who. Scott said, you're buying cups. Apparently, I'm buying cups, ma'am. It's my turn to buy cups. New official swing trade. Good old cups. That's all they make. There's nothing else they make. Other than sweaters and coolers, t-shirts. Retest gap, and it's open. Okay, now why am I taking this trade? Really easy, because it closed above this hammer right here, so I'm just buying the pullback. It's not really any more special than that. Close above this hammer, so I'm just buying the pullback of that hammer. I wish it was cooler than that, but it's not. All right, and last but not least is CLDR. Don't hate it. I don't hate it. I love the fact that it got back over 12. So at this point, I'm just going to wait it. I'm going to keep waiting this one out. It doesn't look disastrously awful. It's trying. It is trying. So I will say, don't love the stock as much as I play it. It's kind of a weird move. It's almost like we know how this thing trades now. Runs up in the morning and then dies later in the day. But long story short, we're not losing on it. And if you are losing, you're not losing a lot. That's all I can say. So you're probably flat, break even. If you're doing some covered calls, cool. Let's keep hanging on this one. And if it gets back up into the 13-ish area and you want to sell, lock it in, move on, and do something else, I'm fine with that. That's kind of my plan. All right, that is it for me for today. Next on we have is Wednesday. And you guys are going to be sick of me looking at TeleDoc over the next few weeks, but just prepare yourselves. It's going to be coming a lot. Wells Fargo, LAC, DraftKings again, AE, AU, SLV, NVTA. Zoom looks strong. BABA, definitely. Wendy's, Matt's, Dadcam, Apple, JD.com, IAC, DocuSign, Redfin. Okay. OTRK, 3D, FEYE, HYLN, Beyond the Meat, Tesla, Pin, Gold. Jacob says, thanks again, Jeremy. You the man. Nah, bro, you the man. Thanks everyone for being here. I appreciate it. Shawnee says, thank you. First time in the US swing trade room. I love it, Shawnee. Jeff says, thank you, Jeremy. 7R locked in this month. What? Dude, get out of here. So proud of you, Jeff. Let's keep churning and burning, ladies and gentlemen. You are amazing. And until next time, love life, and trade it. Bye.